Let us move on to next module. So this is module 2 in your syllabus. The heading is the user interface design process. So first let us see what is user interface. So as you know, might be you have studied this in module 1. What is user interface? I'll recall it. So user interface is a front-end view to which user interacts in order to use any software. So here the user may be using any application, or so here actually the user interface is actually designed for the machines such as computers, and sometimes it may be used in home appliances, mobile devices, or you might be seeing it in cars, music players, or sometimes in ships, aeroplanes also they are using user interfaces. Okay, so these are the electronic devices where you are using the user interface, and it focuses mainly on maximizing the usability and the user experience. So here if you are seeing the design process, actually for any user interface, it starts with the requirements discovery, then the conceptual design will take place, and logical and physical design, and then the design will be delivered to the customer. So here initially requirements phase means it actually the requirements are collected by the customers or the users. Okay, so requirements might be changing, and uh, obviously it will be given to the developer who is going to develop the user interface. And in the conceptual design, actually the initial prototypes are being developed. If you are saying initial prototypes are very necessary in any of the development process in the software engineering also. So here after that, after having the initial prototypes, these prototypes are being visually designed, and later it is given for usability testing also. So before giving the design to actual final customers, what the developers are going to do is they are going to just test it. This is usability testing will be done in the organizations who are going to develop the user interface, and later once it is being developed, it can be delivered to the customer. Okay, so this is a overview of the design process. We'll tell it in detail how this takes place, how the design process goes. So there are many obstacles also when considering the design process. So let us see what are those. So in this particular chapter, you are going to study few topics here. That is obstacles and pitfalls in the development path. So it actually points out the realities of designing for people and some reasons why design may not live up to expectations. So this you are going to study there. And next you have designing for people. You'll be studying about certain guidelines. So here you'll be having 5 commandments or 5 points there that will be asked for the exam. And next you have usability. The primary objective on any of the development effort is defined and discussed here. So we'll be having certain topics like common usability problems, some practical measures of usability, some objective measures of usability, how the design team works. All these you are going to study in usability. And finally, the desired composition of the interface development design team is also being described here. So let us see what are the topics under this. Obstacles and pitfalls in the development path. So development of any system, of any computer system, is not very easy. It is very tedious task, and the path is actually has got many obstacles and traps, which may be caused by human nature or any other obstacles also you can consider. So here a person named Gould has described certain observations about the design. So first point here is he tells that nobody ever gets it right the first time. So that means any user interface, when they are going to develop, they are not going to get the final complete user interface on the right time. So the number of versions of any software will be developed initially, and it has got lots of changes to come for the final design. So now think that you are using certain application and it has got a very good user interface, and do you think that it has been developed at the first attempt itself? It's not at the first attempt. They have tried lots of time, and later they have developed the final design. So like this, if you are seeing, for example, a Facebook user interface, if you are seeing how it was looking in 2008 July, and how immediately after few months in 2008 September, how it has been changed. Okay, you can see that the difference in years, it's how it is going to change, you can see in your system, is it? So now now if you are using in 2021, okay, you have got a different user interface for the Facebook application, is it? So here this is the user interface. Whatever you use right now is not the first attempt they have designed, is it? It is a it's not a final version also, you can say. It may be changed even after few days. Okay, so this is a point that nobody ever gets it right the first time. Okay. The second point given by Gould was development is chock full of surprises. So whenever user interface is being designed and it is being released for the customer, it will be a surprise for any customer. Okay, so you cannot know when exactly the companies will be releasing the different versions of the user interface. Okay, so suppose you say here, for example, as Xiaomi company, they actually had different Android OS for or you say Android 7.1 11.1 Nougat version they were using for earlier Redmi phones. Uh, and in 2017 maybe they have released MyUI 9 for the phones which they have released. Okay, and it had got few good interfaces, and also it had got certain features. The extra features what the MyUI 9 had is Smart Assistant. It's especially for searching the photos, text messages, emails, etc. They had a feature like Smart Assistant, and also it had a Smart App Launcher. Uh, so suppose if you want to have search for an app, okay, uh, so you need not close your screen completely. Uh, you can just type a certain what you can say the application name, and you can get the recommendations for the app, and you can just open the app very easily using Smart App Launcher. So another thing is it also had one more kind of screen like split screen mode, so that you can use one screen, uh, or you can say multitasking you can do at the same time. Okay, that's called multi-screen mode. So all these facilities they actually released in the version called MyUI 9. Okay, Redmi, for the especially for the Redmi phones they have released this kind. So it was actually the surprise for the customers. Okay, so you can say that development is chock full of surprises. Next point given by Gold is good design requires living in a sea of changes. So whenever the developer develops a particular user interface, and he gives it to customer. Okay, so customer might be using the user interface, and he might feel that certain changes are needed in that particular version, okay, whatever that's being released. So what he does, he again gives the requirement back to the organization. So this will be a continuous process. So what happens generally in the organizations, the design process will start from requirement, then design and implementation of GUI happens, then the testing will happen. So before releasing to the customer, the testing will happen. But again, there will be certain changes that our user needs, is it? So again, that changes, whatever he needs, will be given back to the organization itself, is it? Who is going to develop the user interface. So like this, it will be there will be number of changes which is asked by the customers. So customers might be in a large number. Okay, so this is the point here. Good design requires living in a sea of changes. So there will be lots of changes that is required for a user, okay, whenever he is using a user interface. Hmm? So making, next point is making contracts to ignore change will never eliminate the need for change. So that means here change is ever ending process. Okay, so if you are seeing a Facebook application itself, it has changed a lot compared to the version whatever it was released in 2008, and now what version you are using. So it has got lots of changes. So you cannot ignore the changes whatever the user requests. Okay, so based on the user request, the developer has to accept his request, and he has to try for implementing the changes in the user interface. Okay, so he can never eliminate the need for change. Next point given by Gould is, even if you have made the best system humanly possible, people will still make mistakes when using it. So suppose a user interface is being designed and given to the customer or the user, okay, he might be doing mistakes while using the particular application. Huh? So even if you developed it in a very perfect manner, you cannot say it's very user friendly for a user. Okay, there will be certain mistakes that is given by the or which is done by the user. So a system or the application has also has to pop up the messages on the screen that how best you can recover from the errors. Okay, so such messages, dialog boxes has to be displayed on the screen, so that the system can be recovered very easily. Okay, even if there are mistakes caused. Another point is that designer needs good tools. So, so suppose if you are developing a user interface, you also need certain tools or app softwares to develop it. Is it? So you should need the proper laptops, and you need internet connection. Might be you need certain tools, okay, to develop the user interface. So designer has to get certain resources, then only he can develop the user interface in a very better manner. So this is another point. Another point given by Gould is you must have behavioral design goals like performance design goals. So what is this behavioral design? Behavioral design means it is actually the subcategory of design itself, which is mainly concerned with how design can shape or it can be used to influence the human behavior. Okay, so how you can design a particular user interface to influence the human behavior. Okay, this is the point actually, and this should be the main goal of a developer. So there are certain pitfalls in design process. that actually exist because of the flawed design process only, and might be because of the improper focus of or attention in the development team or in the organizations. So here let us see what are the common pitfalls. So first one is no early analysis and understanding of the user needs and expectations. So this is the first mistake. And the second point is a focus on using design features or components that are neat or glitzy. Okay. And next, third point is little or no creation of design element prototypes. That means they don't go for designing the prototypes. That might be also a failure in designing of a user interface. And suppose the company does not do usability testing, that also causes the failure in design. And next point is no common design team vision of user interface design goals. Okay, that means any team while user interface is being developed, they should have certain vision. Okay, so if that is not there, then it might also lead to the failure in the user interface. And if there is no communication, or if there is poor communication between the members of the development team, that also leads to failure of the user interface. So these are the common reasons for failure of any design. So the previous pitfalls, whatever I have discussed, can be eliminated by having the 5 commandments, that is especially given for the designers, which has to be kept in the mind while designing any user interface. So these are the points. There are 5 points actually. Okay, that has to be remembered by any designer while developing any user interface. So the first point here is gain a complete understanding of users and their tasks. Okay, so here uh, there will be actually wide gap between the user and the developer in terms of technical abilities or goals, attitudes. So this kind behavioral changes will be there between any user and the developer, because everyone is different people. So that's why their technical abilities also will be different. So this difference has to be known to the user interface designer, okay, while he actually designs the user interface. And failure to understand this particular difference will doom a product or system to failure. So if you don't understand what exactly how the user interacts with the system, then your product or the system will be in fail. Okay, it may lead to failure of your product. So that's why the first point is very main point. Gain a complete understanding of users and their tasks. So user is very important here. And next point is solicit early and ongoing user involvement. So now here is you have to involve the users in design phase also. That means not at the end stage. You have to start it from the beginning. Okay, it provides proper channel to get the knowledge about how the tasks and jobs are being done. Okay, what are their needs, what are the needs of the users. So all this will be known to the developer or the user interface designer. Okay, so you have to take care about the users interests also. And but the thing here is user involvement should be based on job or the his knowledge, task knowledge. Okay, not because of status or position. Okay, that means at least bit small knowledge is very important to the user, or and he has to interact every time with the designer who is going to develop the user interface. Okay. The third point here is perform rapid prototyping and testing. So prototyping and testing the product will actually identify the problems very quickly, and also it will be leading to uh, get the solutions in a very faster manner. Okay, so you cannot predict every time the what are the problems that will be identified. So what the thing is here, prototyping and testing must be continuously performed during all the stages of development to uncover the potential defects. Okay, so if you're not able to do the testing uh, before the product release, the testing has to be at least occurred in the user's office also. Okay, office. So that means whenever the user interface is being developed and it is given for the customer, in the organization itself the unit testing will happen. Okay, so this testing, if it is not performed, it may lead to failure of the product. Okay, so there will be a negative you say first impression of the customer will be negative. Okay, you can say a negative first impression will be there in the customer's mind. So this may lead to failure of the product or whatever the products you are going to release. So what the thing is, it's actually much harder for or costly process to fix any uh, design uh, fix any design in the later stages. Earlier changes, if you are doing, that is very better. Okay, and what you can say here is, suppose think that if the product is being released without testing, and even if it is inefficient, people might be using it and they may fix to that particular user interface itself, and further you cannot do any future modifications, and if you do, even if you do the modifications, it will be very difficult. So that's why uh, instead of doing the particular changes or any modifications in the later stages of the product release, okay, if you have prototyping or if you are doing the testing continuously, then you will be getting the uh, or you understand the problems in earlier phases, then you can release a better user interface for the customers or the users. Okay, so that is one point. And next one is modify and iterate the design as much as necessary. So iteration, so you have studied it in iterative process in software engineering. So this here also you apply iterative method in the design. So while design will be proceeded in series of stages, problems will be detected in each and every stage and may force the developer to revisit the previous stage. Okay, and revisiting the previous stage is a normal process and it is expected. Okay, and suppose if you are going to test it continuously and modifications are being met, so the design will be in a very better manner, we can say. Modifying and iterating the design is very important in your user interface design. And next is integrate the design of all the system components. Suppose whenever you do the project, okay, you do documentations, is it, and you may train the training will be done, everything. Okay, so the software also will be concurrently developed, so these things will be all done concurrently. So same way here, whenever you are designing, when you are developing a user interface, the software, the documentation or helpful functions and training, everything will be done concurrently. Okay, if even if it is a user interface or the website design, every whatever it may be, it's all same procedure we are going to follow. The concurrent development of all these pieces will point out the possible problems earlier in the design process itself. So even if there are certain drawbacks, or you can say the problems that are occurred early in the design phase, you can solve it in a very easier manner. Okay, so there will be certain design trade-offs also that will be thought in an earlier stage of the design process. So the final thing is you have to integrate all the design of all the system, or you say the documentation, software, everything has to be integrated, and you are going to give a final graphical user interface for the design for the users. Okay, so this is the last point.